Hey, this is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com, and we're talking on the phone right now with Lisa Marie Presley. Thanks so much for taking time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited that you're coming to the Cleveland area. You're coming to the Kent stage on Wednesday the 7th to support your new album, Storm and Grace. Did you know that Cleveland was actually not only the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, of course, but your dad's first concert north of the Mason-Dixon line? I don't know if you were aware of that.
No, I actually did hear that last time. We played somewhere else nearby, and I was informed of this.
Pretty exciting. And now you're coming back, and it took you a while, though. You were always interested in music, but it took you a while to get really started. You put your first album out when you were 35. What was the hesitation on your part? Did you just want to get it right?
It's so funny. I didn't even know that's how old I was when my first record came out. I think it was just you're telling me my own history. Thank you. No, I think that it just honestly wasn't in a hurry because I had children and I had I think I just wanted to get it right, be with the right people, feel in the right situation as much as I could be.
Sure. And
I knew, it was kind of like walking on eggshells a little bit, so I was kind of trying to tread in the right, I had to do it in front of everyone, so kind of trying to figure out my way in front of everybody was part of it.
Yeah.
So it was careful steps, and a lot of years writing mostly, I would say.
Right. And then you put two albums out right in a row.
I'm in a loud restaurant in Nashville right now, so if it's loud, it's my fault, and I'm sorry, I apologize.
You sound fine, and I know they're doing.
I had one day off to take my children out and get them out of the hotel, and I didn't know it was going to be this loud. I thought I could talk to you and not have so much noise.
No, you're doing fine. I know they're doing showcases day and night down there, and you can't get away from the music in Nashville.
No.
So you put a couple albums out in a row, To Whom It May Concern, and Now What? But you took a while with this new album. It's been about 7 years or so before Storm and Grace came out. So what was your thinking there? Were you not happy with the way your career was going with those earlier ones?
No, I just, I don't think that, I think for one thing I didn't really know how to come out, so I kind of came out kicking and fighting a little bit when I came out, because I didn't want, any kind of, I knew that I was up against a lot, basically. So, and I think it was a combination between that and then the record company not quite knowing how to market me. I've always been a singer-songwriter, always. And I think at the time it was just pushed to sort of put me in the pop arena, and I was never my thing, or top 40 or any of that stuff. So
right.
I think that, and then I also was kind of too anxious to be overproduced to kind of hide. So I think, it was just like a growing thing, honestly. I went that
Sure.
way. I did that. That was what was going on in my life then. And then, I went through another period where I kind of rebuilt my life and, destroyed what was around me and rebuilt my life. And that's and was in a completely different place and had no real plan, and then wrote this album. And then, thank God, T-Bone, heard the songs and wanted to do it, and it all really kind of unfolded naturally. It just kind of naturally evolved into where I'm at now, I guess, in my life.
Right. You're working with T-Bone Burnett, but like you said, you totally changed your life. I mean, you left L.A., where you were living. You moved to outside of London, really quite a ways outside of London, in the suburbs pretty much. And it sounds like you left everything behind. There's a lot of that in your lyrics in this new album. There's some anger. There's some regrets. It sounds like you've had a lot of changes here in the past few years.
Yeah, it definitely did, and the record definitely kind of shows the de-evolution and the evolution of all that, for sure. There's definitely, anger, sadness, reflection, all kinds of stuff that happens. It's just kind of the way life is, I suppose, sometimes.
Well, you mentioned you're working with T-Bone Burnett, and of course he's worked with some of the great, I want to say country, but really more roots Americana, and the album sounds great. It really jumps, and your voice fits in so well with the music. But it's interesting. You wrote a lot of this with partners that are British, right? I mean, some of these folks they're not Americans, and yet you're doing very American kind of music. Did you find that a little ironic?
Yeah, it's been kind of a consistent, funny, ironic thing. But when I went over there, I was put with so many different kinds of writers, but the English love American, what we have to offer, Americana, rootsy music.
Sure.
And they really honor that in such a way that's very real, and it felt real to me. And for whatever reason, it wasn't like, oh, let's sit and try to do this. I had people say,
right.
Go to Nashville and write and this and that. I thought, okay, I don't want to try. If it happens, it happens. And oddly, it happened with it there. There wasn't a person I wrote with that didn't have, pictures of my father or of other, huge American icons around the studios. So it just was natural. It was very bizarre that we were that far away, but it was just a really natural thing too.
What was it like working with T-Bone? Because it sounds like this was a very different process of recording and laying down these tracks than you had been involved in the past.
It was. He's incredible. I was in awe of him way before that, but he gives also, he's such a conductor, and it meant everything to me that I know he hears and can do anything and get anything and do anyone, or produce music with, and I knew that it meant so much to me that he heard the songs that I was writing and wanted to produce my record. Like, just that alone gave me so much life back that I needed, and I was so grateful to him. And then I kind of took him on as a paternal figure in my life, because I just think of him that way. He's about 7'10" to me. He's really tall, and he's
right.
somebody I'm in awe of. And we did 16 songs in 12 days live, all of it. And the way he does it is very, very authentic. So it was an incredible experience. If I never did another record again, I would be really proud of just having done this one with him.
Well, you got a great sound. It sounds like a classic LP, and there's something about these lyrics that, and the way you deliver them, that it's so mysterious. You have to kind of listen over and over again to figure out exactly what you're saying and exactly where you're coming from. And I think this album, it bears repeated listenings, and it's very rich and very deep. It sounds like you must be happy with it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I am. I'm really proud of it. I am. And I'm proud of it because it was so organic and it wasn't pre-thought. And then T-Bone coming on, like I said, just really gave me back life that I needed. It just as an artist, he kind of tapped a wand on my head a little bit, I felt like, just granting me authenticity a little bit by doing the project. And I just felt so good about that I am really proud of it.
What's the reception been like on tour? You've been to Mississippi. You're coming to Kent on November 7th. You're headed to Carnegie Hall November 17th. You're doing meet and greets, it looks like, at most of these. What's the reception been like?
It's been incredible. The shows are a lot more intimate with this kind of music, but the crowd seems to really love it. We did Nashville last night. It was really, really fun. They're rowdy here. They're fun. And it's been really good. It's been really, really good, actually, I have to say. It's very... if you like the record, you'll love the show. It's pretty right there. We're right there with you.
Right.
Smaller venues,
very
intimate music. Yeah.
Right. You do a lot with philanthropy, and I just wanted to thank you for that. And you do so much. And these cool video duets that you've been doing with your dad every, 10 years or every 5 years or so. That's really sweet. That's really, I don't know whose idea that was, but that's kind of a cool way to do it.
Thank you. No, it's kind of something I started doing by accident. Like every 5 years, I think it's something I could do as a tribute for the fans, something sweet. And actually this year, T-Bone picked this song, so and did it, so which is also special. And then it's always fun for me to do for everyone.
Well, listen, you've done a great job on this record. I can't wait to hear you when you come to Cleveland. Thanks so much for taking time. I know you're so busy. You're taking care of your family. You're on tour. Thanks for taking a few moments to talk with us here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hey, this is Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.